also a lot of places that you've been.
And to be in control and to be in your own power. And maybe you wouldn't feel so passionate about it if you hadn't experienced what you had. So well, you're such a gift to people today.
I'm sorry, could you just say that again?
You're such a gift to people today. We'll put it
on a Let me share something with you. If I could tell my younger self that Sharon Lechtor would be saying that to me now at this age, I would not have believed you. Although I will tell you something very funny. For my birthday, I went back into my own journals. I kept things that I wrote from the time I was a little girl, and lots of them. I didn't hold on to much, but I held on to those. And the night before my birthday, I found myself sitting in my office, opening up things that had just been stuck in a bookcase. And I was floored at what I found. What I found was that forever I have been asking for what I have now. I wrote down pictures of people that I wanted to hang out with, from Tony Robbins on down, Les Brown. I'm sure that you're in there somewhere, because I wanted that. I wanted to know certain movie stars. I have their pictures in these books.
The power of putting it out there, the power of visioning. Yep.
But I don't think I realized that that is what I really, really wanted. I'm living that dream. Mm-hmm. What did you want when you were younger?
When I grew up, my dad would ask me every night, have you added value to someone's life today? So I've grown up with this passion for service, and really helping people empower themselves. It's criminal that people don't understand money. They're not taught about money in school. And I grew up in a household where I understood entrepreneurship and assets, sexy assets, right? And creating, not spending your time for money, but investing your time in buying, building, creating income producing assets. And I'm really passionate about it. From 1992, when my oldest son got into credit card debt in college, I was livid with him, but I was mad at myself. And I really dedicated the rest of my life to financial literacy and helping people take control of their lives. So,
what did your dad do for a living?
He was career Navy, and then he went to work with Martin Marietta and ran their control. He actually helped run the engineering school in the Navy with a third grade education. So he was brilliant, totally self-taught.
And what was that question that he asked you every night?
Have you added value to someone's life today?
Where did he come up with that?
He's been gone for 14 years, and I still hear him asking me that every night when I go to bed. Did I add value to someone's life today?
You're going to make me cry. I think that's one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard a parent say to a child. Wow. So you came up, it's funny because I hear a lot of people come to me going, Forbes, I want to help people and I want to help 1 million people. And I'm thinking, have you helped one person?
Mm-hmm. One person.
So you have always had this sense of money, and I am the exact opposite. Money always scared me. And so I didn't deal with it. I could make it, and then I would put it in a bank and it would make 0.1%. And I wouldn't even want to think about it because it has its own, its own things to everybody. Thank God people have helped me with my money issue. I'm actually working with a gentleman right now who is a stock trading option guy, and my 17-year-old daughter has glommed onto this.
Who I love. She's fantastic.
Well, thank you. Miss McKenna loves you too. You are one of her all-time heroes. There's not a lot of women out there to have as heroes, right?
Well, there are not enough of us role models. That's why we're doing this event, AssetsAreSexy.com. I've got some of the most incredible top women entrepreneurs and power brokers coming together to share their expertise. And you're one of them. So I'm so excited about it.
Now you're calling it Assets Are Sexy, which I just love. How did you come up with this title?
Well, assets, that's my favorite word on earth, assets. And as we get older, right?
Yeah.
You talk about being sexy. Assets get a little sexier as you get older because that creates that financial freedom. So I want people to really strive, you obviously want to look good, but I want you to strive for having sexy assets, because if the assets are there for you, then you can choose the life you want and you're a master of your money.
So for people who might not understand what you just really said, go a little deeper.
Sure. We are taught in school to be employees, right? Or to be self-employed. And that means exchanging your time for money, right? I did my book, The Cash Flow Quadrant, and the Rich Dad has the quadrant on the left side is the employee and self-employed. And that's what school teaches us, but that's there's only so many days in the week and so many hours in the day. And so it's crazy because you get tired out. On the right side of the quadrant is business owners and investors. And that's where you have economic engines, assets that work for you. When you create an asset, right, you get somebody, it's like having an employee without the HR issues, no personality, that's just in there working for you 24/7. And your ability to make money is infinite. Every wealthy person in the world, no matter what language they speak, no matter what their zip code is, they have one thing in common: assets.
So what kind of assets are you talking about?
So businesses, you can own a business that's generating revenue. You can own rental real estate, or you can have paper assets, just like you said, stocks, bonds, mutual funds. You can have intellectual property, which is what you, Forbes, and I right now do a lot of, with the books, programs, all of that, where we can take, instead of one-to-one, it allows us to go one-to-many. And that's the power of taking your expertise and sharing it so that people can access it how they want to, in whatever medium. It gives you multiple channels of distribution, and even better, multiple revenue streams.
Yes, yes, yes. What are some of the biggest obstacles that you find that people say, wait, they've got an employee mindset, and what is it that keeps them from shifting this, do you find?
Lack of knowledge, and we're not teaching people about it in school. So you have to seek it out. You have to seek it out. You've heard the phrase, the poor get poorer, the rich get richer. That's because we learn it at home. And if we truly want to level the playing field so that every child has equal opportunity, we need to bring financial education into the school system. But right now, Forbes, and I don't know if you know this stat, only 1.7% of women-owned businesses make over $1 million a year. It's atrocious.
You're kidding me, right?
1.7% make over $1 million. And so my first goal is to take that to 17%. And then let's get it to 34%. Let's continue working so that, because one of the biggest issues, and I know you're going to agree with me on this because it's what you teach, perseverance, is women have a lack of self-confidence. And so they need to be in your presence because you shake them up. We need to have more power and stand. And it's not in lieu of men. I love working with men. It's when men and women come together, we get the greatest results.
Well, I agree. I also know that that's one of the things that I've been committed, kind of a calling of mine, because I certainly have my businesses that I do, and whether it's teaching, pitching, or going on home shopping, or my fitness empire. But the thing that I'm actually called to is to get women out of this notion that we've been told that we're not enough, that we can't do it. You know, I have a television series that I'm kind of keen on at the moment. I was watching Outlander, and this woman who's a doctor goes back in time, and she actually has to face some of this. Like, even in the 50s, in her regular time, 1950s, she's sitting there amongst Harvard professors, and they're basically telling her to be quiet and for the professor to remove his wife. She was one of only 2 people who were in the doctor training that she goes into. It's her and a black man. And I am very empowered, like remembering how much we have now if we wanted it.
Oh, when I went to school, I was the only woman in my accounting classes. I was one of the very first women hired in public accounting. You just had to work harder. You accepted it and you had to work harder, but we want to make those opportunities available to everybody.
I've just never seen a difference. I wasn't held back because I was a woman. I was held back because I was just too pushy. I will tell you, the more that you come to own who you are, though, what do you credit your personal self-esteem and self-confidence with?
Well, the same father and mother. They, even though I was kind of the pioneer, my parents basically said I could be anything I chose to be if I just worked hard enough. And
okay, so did mine. Now that's interesting. So we're part of that 1.7% of millionaires are women. The question is, if you don't have that as a mom and dad, where do you think you go to get that?
Mentors. So important to have mentors. That's why everybody watching this, congratulations, because you're listening to Forbes, you're following Forbes. We need mentorship. It's been proven, the stats are there. If you have a mentor, you're going to be more successful than not, because there's a phrasing that said a smart person learns from their mistakes. A genius learns from other people's mistakes. And so here we are, we're here to share the mistakes that we made so you don't make them again. We speed your success. We get you around the pitfalls and share and one thing is we're very authentic, all right? We walk the talk. We talk about the upsets. We talk about the things that we had to overcome. And it's something that I think is a little different from it was even 10 years ago. that vulnerability is now something that helps people understand you better. And you're right. So many people say, I'm not good enough. But the other thing they say, Forbes, is right now, somebody's watching this saying, easy for them to say, you know, easy for her to say, you know, and it's not. We've been there, done that. We've been where every one of you are. That's why we do these programs, Forbes programs, the Assets Are Sexy program. I want you to see what's real. We've got the founder of Jazzercise speaking that day. She had a love of dance.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
what her name again is?
Judy Shepard Massette. She's a dear friend of mine, and she started Jazzercise from a love of dance. And now it's a $1 billion valuation company, and she's created the opportunity for women entrepreneurs all over the world.
Okay, I am a huge fan of hers and her daughters, and I cannot believe that she's on the program. I did not know that. I need a personal invitation. She's one of my heroes. And I don't know if she's in the National Fitness Hall of Fame, but I need to nominate her because I am.
Okay.
So that will be my gift to her.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I love it.
In a time when nobody was creating that.
Yeah.
No, so how has this whole coronavirus affected you personally, do you think?
Well, I'm busier than ever. I will tell you, for the last 7 or 8 years, I've been on the road 70 to 80% of the time. And so being home for the last 7 weeks is like, wow, I might be able to get used to this. I'm using the spin gym. All right. I am, because I'm sitting on, you know what, this thing too much all day long.
You're sitting on your ass, baby, I can make at least your arms and your abs look hot.
6 hours a day I'm doing broadcasts. So it's like, whoa, I got to get up and start moving. But it's changed a lot because, and everybody, I mean, this has been a global reset, because it's not just one fear. It's the fear of death and ill health, the fear of poverty, and the fear of isolation. It's like the trifecta of fear, and fear does one of two things. It paralyzes us. You want to get under the covers and hide, or it motivates you. And the people that are paralyzed are the ones that are sitting on the sofa doing Netflix binging. You know, come on, this is an opportunity to look at your life and say, what's not working? Get rid of it and redefine what you want in the future. Everybody's got a clean slate. What do you want out of life? And grab it and start focusing on buying, building, or creating assets.
Yes, yes, and yes. I am, you know, I don't want to go down the history as being the meanest person in the world, but I think this is the greatest thing that could have happened at this time. And I'm actually feeling blessed that I got to live through this. Now, why do I get to say that? Nobody really cared when I was in the hospital 2 years ago. I was dying of, I'd stressed out so bad that I had a kidney stone that went septic. And for 10 days, they did not know if I was going to survive. By the way, that's more contagious than you realize. Stress will kill you. Obesity, diabetes, those things will absolutely kill you. So while COVID is having its field day with certain people, I got to tell you, if we'd always focused on the news and how many people died, we'd never have gotten out of bed. So the fact is, we're kind of highlighting that. But what really frustrates me is we are still not having a daily meeting like we are going, here's how many people died today. We're not saying, here's how you build your immune system. Here's what you need to think. Here's how positive you need to be. Here's how you build a new business. And so I love that you are doing this. It's on May 15th, all day long. You are bringing the most amazing women together, because if you're at home and you are, by the way, I do binge on Netflix. Don't kid yourself. I can Frankie and Grace and Outlander You and the new TV series Hollywood. I love them.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with entertainment, Forbes.
Oh
but
yeah,
if you're doing that to escape the world around you, that's where there's a problem.
Right, that's true. But I am loving this. I'm loving the fact that you're in Arizona. I'm here. I've been doing a spin gym class every day at noon with people around the world. Nobody wanted to do that before this happened, and they should have.
Yep.
I had people saying, oh, I've had that in my desk forever. Well, guess what? Now is the time. You cannot go to the gym. By the way, I don't even know if you went to the gym. I think most people just said they went to the gym.
Well, we have a gym here at the house.
All right. Well, you know, I got a man who used to go every day to the gym. You know what? He can't do that right now. So he's focused on building his video business, his 3D graphic arts, and everything is shifted.
Yes.
My advice to you is stop worrying about going back. No one's going back anywhere. We are all going where? Forward.
Yeah, people say there's going to be a new normal. I go, no, create a new reality for yourself.
Yep.
Normal, you know, let's create a new excitement level, let's get creative and curious again. And let's, you know, the successful businesses do one of two things: solve a problem and serve a need. We have a few problems and a few needs right now. So what an incredible opportunity. It's never been easier to start a business.
What's one of the biggest obstacles you had to overcome?
In my life,
Yeah.
I've had a few. Obviously, the biggest one is the loss of my son. I almost retired because I was in neutral, right? Numb. I was in a land of numb for several years because we're not supposed to outlive our children. And that was 7 years ago. And I really came close to just kind of pulling out because I wasn't getting the same feed and the energy from what I did. And I had a lot of pushback from family and friends. And I actually think I heard him saying, Mom, get over it. And there's more for you to do. And so I say, everybody watching and listening, you may have had something that stopped you in your tracks, whether it be a death, a divorce, an illness, financial setback. And certainly what's happened in the last 2 months qualifies as stopping us in our tracks. But you're still here. You're still here for a reason, and there are people that can benefit from what you know. So take this opportunity to, instead of retiring or being paralyzed, refire, reignite, redefine what you want out of life.
See, and I will tell you that perhaps, those of us, I'm in a similar situation where I lost a young man that I raised for 12 years. He was murdered. If you've gone and your pendulum has swung so far to one side, if you choose to be here, you realize that part of that pain, don't let it go wasted, but re-energize it. And I'm going to tell you, there's not a single woman watching anywhere in the world right now who would want to, based on what we just said, trade places with either one of us.
Right.
And I love when you said, oh, they make it look easy. Yeah, you know what? We make it look fun. And actually, you and I found each other. I get such a kick out of knowing you. Have no idea how much I love knowing you and knowing Les Brown and knowing some of my all-time heroes. Because the crazy thing for me, why I knew about a lot of you guys 20 years ago. I didn't take any of those classes because I thought that I wasn't good enough. I could have studied with a Tony Robbins or Mark Victor a long time ago. And I shied away from it because of my own beliefs. And I think what I love about you is you are a cheerleader for people, men and women, to just step into their personal greatness and risk a little bit. Yes. And not always be right, but just be present and moving forward.
Yep. Get out of your comfort zone. And the other thing is, surround yourself with people who believe in you. Don't be by yourself. I mean, business is a team sport. I couldn't do what I do without my team. And I thank God every day for them. And don't be by yourself. That's how
but hang on a second, because I'm a big believer in some of those things are easier to say. So now you've got a woman who has been working for a company, maybe laid off, doesn't have a team, doesn't have anybody, she's been isolated. Maybe she went through a divorce. And you have to really think about some of the people. I'm very lucky to be in love at the moment, but I might not have been. And so she's sitting there thinking, well, but I am alone. Where do I start?
Perfect. I love that question because a lot of your viewers may know Laurel Langemeyer. Well, when she got out of corporate America, she had nothing. She had no product. She had no business. But she came to us at Rich Dad and she worked alongside us, sold our products, trained our people. And she had that cash flow from helping us while she built her contacts, while she built her business, while she wrote her books. And today it's so much easier to do that. The affiliate programs everywhere. I bet you have one, Forbes. I have one. If you believe in something, don't be alone. Come alongside someone who has the systems to support you while you grow your own business.
That is such a beautiful answer. And I'm going to just restate what you just said. You actually don't need to even have a product. All you have to have is want to change your life. You can actually, because of the internet, find a product that you love, a book, a service. It doesn't matter what you love. You talk about it, you promote it, and you get paid. Yes. I have a bunch of those programs that I'm not only doing my own, but that I endorse other people. And I've woken up in the morning and found checks in my bank account that I'm like, I wonder how did that actually get there? And it's because you talk about what you know.
Yes. Yes.
That's a great piece of advice.
And you do it from a position of authenticity. And when you do it from a position of authenticity, you don't have to remember what you said because it came from a place of truth, right? And, and one thing I just want to add, Forbes, because you and I what you see is what you get with us. And it's so important with all the people flooding online to sell things and to have programs. Do your homework.
Yes.
Make sure the person that you're listening to is the real deal, that they walk the talk, that they have the experience. In my book, 3 Feet from Gold, with the Napoleon Hill Foundation, I said, seek counsel, not advice. Your brother-in-law can give you advice. The elevator guy can give you advice. counsel is from someone who knows what they're talking about. They've been there, done that. And don't, if there's somebody who's good looking and got a slick tongue, don't be swayed to buy something unless you know they know what they're talking about.
That is where the age thing comes in really well, because if I hear one more 22-year-old tell me that she's a life coach, I'm like, call me when you've lived a life.
I love that. I'm going to use that. I'll give you credit.
That's right. But that is so, it's the truth. And luckily we are still here. We get to be the grande dame, I feel like the mama of this.
Yes.
And it's fun. I think the thing that surprises most people, and this is really important, is that a lot of people who've achieved fame and success are very willing to give back.
Oh.
But people would say, well, why would they do that? So you tell me, why would we do this?
Well, it's what gets me up out of bed every morning. I've been financially free since I was 38, but my passion comes from seeing other people become financially free. So that brings me joy. And that's what gets, what I said, businesses solve a problem or serve a need. Every morning I remind myself the problem I'm solving, the need I'm serving, and it takes it outside of me. And I jump out of bed ready to go because I know I'm being of service. And so when I thought about retiring, I actually took a few months and it's like, what am I going to do with myself? Right. It's
Right.
like, I get my passion and my joy from being of service and helping people and helping them see that one thing they can do that changes their life forever. And that's what we're going to be talking about that day. You're going to be sharing it. Judy Shepard-Massett, founder of Jazzercise. I've got Phyllis Newhouse, an incredible powerhouse. She retired military in cybersecurity. She started a company called Extreme Solutions, another $1 billion valuation company.
Wow.
Last year, she got the Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year Award, first woman in tech to get it. Incredibly impressive. And these are women that are giving of their time to share with you how to do it. And Phyllis has got a whole new nonprofit with Viola Davis called Shoulder Up. I mean, all the women that have become successful, we get more time to give back because we've created the assets and the businesses that work for us. So we can then focus on other things that we're passionate about as well.
So repeat the website and the time. Tell everybody where.
It's May 15th, assetsaresexy.com. And it's 9 to 6 on Pacific Standard Time. 5 to 6 is a virtual cocktail party and dance party. So we're going to have fun. But I want all of you to please, it's free. I didn't add that part. I have over 20 sponsors. So this is free. I just had 40 people from Ireland sign up this morning. We already have 500 people signed up for the class. Please join us. Assetsaresexy.com. It's free. There is an opportunity for a VIP ticket if you're interested in having a little bit more solid and a little more exciting opportunity. But everybody who signs up gets a virtual gift bag of gifts from every one of the panelists and speakers. So incredible value. It's our way of giving back and supporting people during this time, redefining what you want so that you can create the future you deserve.
Oh, I love it. What's your personal secret? What's one thing that you do as a woman to keep looking so gorgeous?
Good question. Well, I eat well, at least usually. I exercise. But I think the other thing is getting a good night's sleep and realizing that it's just one day at a time. Forbes, for me, I used to worry all the time. I was very stressed out. When I lost my son, nothing bothers me like that anymore. When you have that depth of heartache, you realize that, it's not that tough as long as you can continue moving forward. And so I value every day. Mike and I have been married 40 years this year. So I'm blessed with an incredible relationship. I have incredible children and grandchildren. That's probably what's keeping me young, because of my grandkids.
Oh, yeah.
They bring joy. The only reason to have kids is so you can have grandkids.
Well, I will tell you that actually also having children later was a smart idea, because I've got 2 kids who are still in high school, and that keeps me feeling very young and very connected, going to football games and hanging out with them. Yeah.
I love seeing your pictures. It's wonderful. This is my little girl. She's
What's her name?
Isn't she sweet?
Oh, geez, that's precious, beyond precious. I cannot wait.
Annalise. And I will tell you a little side story. This is very personal. She's our miracle baby. My daughter and her husband couldn't get pregnant. They had artificial insemination the week my son died, and it didn't take. And she had 5 frozen embryos. 5 years later, there were 3 viable, they implanted, and this is our gift. This is our little gift from God. She was frozen for 5 years. Isn't it amazing?
That is
Look at
like
her.
beyond a miracle. How do you even, oh my gosh. Thank goodness.
And her name is Annalise Gale, which is the gift of God. So
She is totally, and that's how I felt about my babies. They were conceived on my mother's birthday, the first year after she passed away, and due on my dad's birthday. And all, you get this sign from somewhere else,
Yep.
and you know that whether people are here or not, that they're always here.
yep.
And I treasure you for that. Look at you, got all emotional, which is hard.
I did.
You know what? That is the other secret about being a woman. And that's the difference, is that we are intuitive. We deal with our heart. I am very emotional, and I wouldn't trade that with a guy ever. You're so beautiful. I love you.
I love you too, my dear. And I can't wait till next Friday. Everybody, please right now go to assetsaresexy.com and sign up. We also have an Assets Are Sexy Facebook page. Go to that and tell us what you want to ask, questions. Look at the lineup at the assetsaresexy.com. And if there's something you want to ask of one of the speakers, go post it on the Facebook page, because I'm going to be watching.
Oh, you are such a delight. On that note, mwah, have a great rest of your night, and I cannot wait till next Friday.
I love you. Thank you so much.
Bye,
Take
everybody.
care.
And that would be there. And that would be to you guys. So if you're still watching, thanks, Sharon Lechtor, so much. I get so inspired when I see her. She just makes my heart sing. Please join us on Friday. It's going to be an amazing day. And mwah, to all of you guys, share this video. Thank you.